Have you upgraded to Windows 10 yet?
What's a Windows 10?
Windows 10 from Microsoft? Have you upgraded?
Oh, no, I never worked for Microsoft yet. I'm just, 5.
Now you're 11. Are you working for Microsoft yet?
No, I wish. Hopefully I'll be able to create the Xbox Infinity S. Something like that.
5 years ago, in a series of videos and an onstage panel at the 2015 GeekWire Summit, we talked with geeky kids from across the Seattle region about their views on science, technology, what was important in their lives at the time, and their aspirations for the future. We called them our Future Innovators. The goal was to get a glimpse of the future by talking directly to some of the young people who would help to shape it.
Going down the line here, Rebecca, how about you? What's your favorite subject in school?
Oh, that's kind of tough. I really like school a lot, but I guess I really like science and technology.
Of course, it turns out that none of us, kids or adults, actually had any idea what was to come.
I'm on a screen pretty much all the time now, especially with remote school.
We recently caught up with 4 of our Future Innovators in a series of conversations.
So you all look very different than you did when you were little kids.
Our conversations revealed a new level of uncertainty in their lives and showed how their bright-eyed enthusiasm for technology has evolved into a more pragmatic reality.
What's your favorite invention?
Probably the cell phone, because now you can play like Minecraft on it and everything like that. I'm just really happy that they made it.
I have an Instagram account. That's really the only social media I get into. I try not to go on it too much because I know I'll just kind of get addicted to it.
But we also heard reassuring consistencies as well as continued optimism.
If I could invent anything, a way to stop global warming.
What the world could really use, in my mind, is cleaner forms of transportation.
Their views are evolving considerably, shaped not just by their additional years on the planet, but by the rapidly changing circumstances in the world around them.
Do you think this is a neat way to communicate? Would you rather see your friends at your house? How do you feel?
Personally, this COVID social distancing thing is getting really hard for some families and even children. First of all, the parents aren't able to have a job, which means they can't afford food sometimes. And then for kids, it's kind of maybe not depressing, but disappointing that you can't go see your friends or go do football or the sport you love.
At age 5, Tanner Stark had a toy Spy Kids watch, which he would use to call his parents. At age 11, Tanner is on TikTok and he's dreaming of becoming a famous social media star.
So 5 years ago, you were at the GeekWire Summit as part of our Future Innovators panel. Do you remember that?
Yes.
You do?
I still watch that YouTube video every single day just to get inspiration. And then I am so still embarrassed of that Minecraft thing from Microsoft.
Is that a dream? Do you have a dream to work for a tech company? What's changed for you in the last 5 years as far as your ambitions?
So now that I'm older and I know what life's supposed to be like and what life's goal is, to leave a passion, live the longest life that you can have, I personally want to become maybe not famous, but at least become a popular TikToker or any person on social. And then if that career gets me somewhere, maybe I might move on to Microsoft.
What do you do on TikTok?
And so far I have 6 followers because I started it a week ago. So I'm not exactly that popular. This morning I was doing the dishes because I had to. And I just pull up my phone. Just watch me do the dishes. Why not?
People are clamoring for that content. Dishwashing kids. I think that's huge.
When Rebecca Yeung was 10, she was launching weather balloons to the edge of space and visiting the White House for a science fair with President Obama.
Tell us what you and your sister learned on your first spacecraft in the Yeung space program.
Well, I guess the main lesson that we learned was don't speculate, rely on data, because
5 years after winning over the crowd with that observation, Rebecca, now age 16, doesn't know what she wants to be, but she does know what she wants to accomplish.
And the more I grow up and the more information I have, there's just more and more things I want to do. One thing that I do know is that I probably wouldn't want to stay with one thing. I think it would be better for me to try and do lots of different things. And I definitely want to do something that is able to help other people.
Annabelle Kisky was 10 when she said she would love to invent something that would help deal with global warming. At age 16, Annabelle is still focused on the problem and the need for cleaner forms of transportation.
There are already things like electric cars and stuff, but they aren't as widespread as they really should be. And, with global warming, the problem only gets worse the more we put those kinds of things into the air. So I think cleaner forms of transportation, especially for long distance, would be really important.
Marcus Bathum was obsessed with Minecraft and playing other video games on his phone at age 9. Today, Marcus is a 14-year-old high school freshman, coping with remote learning and missing the ability to play music in person with his bandmates because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
How's remote learning treating you? Are you holding up okay with school being at home?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, I know a lot of people are struggling, and I've had like my fair share of stress and stuff like that. But honestly, I just try to like not get behind, and then if I do that, then I don't find a whole bunch of work stacking up, and then if I don't, then it's not too bad.
A sense of pragmatic optimism came through in many of our conversations.
Tell me a little bit about your view on things here in 2020, as opposed to when you were an 11-year-old and maybe your eyes weren't as wide open about the state of the world. We're in the midst of a pandemic. You're doing school remotely, I assume. And how do you feel about everything? Are you optimistic? Are you scared? Are you somewhere in between?
Well, I mean, I think it goes without saying that this year was a really trying year for everybody. In 2016 was when my sister and I got to go to the White House Science Fair and meet President Obama. Everything seemed really hopeful and everyone was excited about science and the way that the world was going. And I think since that time, obviously a lot of things have changed in our country, but that this year especially has revealed that maybe not everything was as hopeful and perfect as we thought it was at the time. But I'm actually pretty optimistic about it because I think that, like we saw this year with the protests and social justice movements, that as a society and country, that we are ready to improve things and try and make things better for us.
The double-edged sword of technology was a common theme.
Every morning I wake up and there's more bad news. The good news is that means that our communication technology has gotten to the point where anyone can get the news almost instantly. But that's also kind of a bad thing because now you hear all of the bad news all at once.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a lot to process when it just keeps coming.
Another big topic for the teenagers, of course, is driving and the future of cars. But this also came with a hint of caution.
I'm really excited to start driving. Theoretically, by the summer I should be. But I'm hopeful for like self-driving cars. I mean that also will take a long time. I feel like there's a lot of people who are going to just be like really supportive of that, and then a lot of people are just not going to trust it.
5 years later, some of our future innovators also expressed mixed feelings about the role of tech giants, such as Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Facebook.
On the one hand, I really want to recognize that these tech giants, as they're called, have done a lot for our society, and having that much innovation in one place and consistently leading to better, more convenient things for people. On the other hand, when you have these giant companies and, considerably small number of people at the top making decisions about them that affect so many of our lives, there's room for problems there. And you get kind of wary about having those few people have so much power.
So when we catch up in 5 years, what's your hope if you could sort of send the world down any path for the better, what does Annabelle want to see?
Well, I would hope that we're not in another pandemic. That's a hard question to answer because there are just so many things that could happen. You never really know. There are a lot of things that I'd like to say that I just don't know how to put into words. So, 21-year-old Annabelle, if you're watching this again right now, I'm really sorry. I can't think of anything, but I hope it's going all right for you.
So we asked you in 2015, what's your favorite thing about technology? And at the time, your answer was pretty broad. You said you liked the fact that you could go on a phone or a computer and use technology. So at age 11 now, tell me how that answer has evolved. What's your favorite thing about technology?
Maybe how you can have like extremely good internet anywhere, unless you have the phone that I have.
So you like being able to connect to the internet no matter where you are?
Basically, at least with the new iPhones.
That way, if you're making a TikTok dishwashing video out in the middle of nowhere, you have connectivity. Because your 6 followers can't wait for that.
I am so blown away by that joke.
Well, you're still a good sport.
I'm GeekWire reporter Kurt Schlosser. For more, read my story at geekwire.com.
Sometimes when I watch Netflix and I look at the sun, it kind of zaps my eyes, kind of.
I wanted to show you this device. Do you know what this thing is? You can pick it up and do you know what it's called?
Walkman.
Yeah, how'd you know that? Oh, you
There's
can
words.
read.